Squad attack.
And
Hey, what's going on everybody? Mitch here. And before I get to talking about the Alpha version 6 update for Squad that includes the awesome 50 cal, M2 Browning 50 cal, I would be really remiss if I did not stop and acknowledge that today is Memorial Day in the US. I know a lot of other countries do a very similar holiday, memorializing their lost. But I always try to do something with my family on this day to remember those that we've lost. So I felt like I would drag this into my YouTube channel, where, let's be honest, a lot of the games I play glorify, the horrors of war. We always need to remember that this stuff is based on real things that happen to real people. So as long as I have a YouTube channel, I'm going to continue to acknowledge days like today and try to do something on these kind of days, whether it's just talking about it or if this little YouTube hobby of mine actually gets any money into it. I'll just accumulate that money and donate to a good charity like Fisher House that helps out families of a veteran who may be ill or wounded or sick, to where they have to be in a hospital, and they support the family so they can be near the veteran. So I know this is a deep and somber start to the episode, but this is a really good update for Squad, so let's go ahead and get into it. A lot of cool things, and I like what it means for the future of Squad. It's actually starting to progress really nicely now, and vehicles are on the horizon. Okay, and starting small to the bigger features, and I'm going to show you a little bit of everything here on screen. And starting with the really, really small, they've started to implement the foliage interaction. So you're going to be walking around, you're going to start to see little things start to move on you, and people in front of you, see the trees and bushes start to move around. It seems like it's only a select few kind of bushes that are moving right now. I don't know exactly what their criteria on what foliage is going to move first. I would love to see the fields, the poppy fields, and the different types of fields that they have, cotton fields, I don't know if it's cotton or whatever, I know there's poppy fields, move around to make it a little bit easier to shoot targets in those fields, but they're not moving yet. But as you can see on screen, there are certain things that are moving already. And another thing you can interact with now in the world is the water. Walking in the water, you can notice the water starting to move around. And then, by surprise, I didn't even notice this in the patch notes originally, but they do mention it there. I accidentally found out this. If you shoot an explosive into the water, it gives you a nice little burst of water, as you can see here. The next thing I wanted to cover is the map updates. They added a completely new map, and I'm probably going to butcher this name. Gordok is what I'm going to call it. I don't know if that's right, but it's another, very densely forested map, similar to Fool's Road, but even more densely forested than that. And it looks awesome. The lighting in this new update seems a little bit bright, and the lighting in general is a little wonky. I don't know if they got that completely right. It may have something to do with them going into the new Unreal 4.1 update, part of the Unreal Engine. I don't know if that's affected the lighting. They haven't quite tweaked it yet, or if that's how it's meant to be. But to me, the lighting seems, sometimes a little too bright, especially with the Gordok map. And then also, they've updated Fool's Road itself, and they updated the tunnel system. The Fool's Road tunnels are absolutely huge now, and they're very confusing. But one of the things that really sucks about them is they seem obscenely dark. There's lights in these tunnels, and it seems super dark. I have to turn up my gamma pretty high, about to 2.3 or 4-ish to get it to where I can see really well. I don't know if that was meant to be. I'm looking at their screenshots compared to what I actually saw. I don't think that's what was intended. Now I'm using a 970 GTX. I don't think it's my graphics card, but it could be how I have set up, so I'm not going to completely blame the developers on that one, and we'll see with future updates. Last but definitely not least in terms of the map updates, and I wasn't sure if I was going to like this at all, but the Samara Map has been updated, and oh my goodness, it looks like a completely different map, and by far it is probably my new favorite map. I mean, it went from probably the least favorite to the favorite. That's how big of a difference it is. If you played Squad and you've played the Samara Map, usually people are running around all over the place doing their own things because it was so tight in that you couldn't really communicate and talk. But now that's completely changed. This is like full functioning map like every other map in Squad. It may still be a little bit smaller, I'm not completely sure, but it is a complete city map now, and it is awesome. It is my favorite map on Squad by far now. You can just look at this and you can tell it's a lot different. Lastly, and definitely not least, is the new deployable heavy machine guns, and specifically the M2 Browning machine gun, the 50 caliber machine gun. Just an absolutely devastating weapon, probably one of my favorite weapons to shoot in real life. Even though getting them set up is a pain in the ass, getting the timing right internally, that's a pain in the ass. But once you get them going, they're absolutely awesome beasts. Now, all the factions have the M2 currently. They are working on the Cord, I want to say. I'm not quite familiar with that pronunciation or that weapon itself, but they are also working on the Dishka, which is a gun I have seen in real life and have seen it shoot in real life, and it is absolutely a beast as well. It's actually slightly higher caliber than the 50 cal Russian design weapon, and it's used by the Afghan forces right now, so that's how I'm familiar with it. But the deployable and placed heavy machine guns are mostly awesome because this is technically the first vehicle in Squad. This is kind of like a dry run for vehicles, to a proof of concept, and it's working out pretty good. There are a few quirky bugs where people are sticking out of the bunkers and not quite on the gun right. You can see me here. I had that bug. All you have to do is get in and get out, or get out and get back in, and it usually resets and fixes it fine. But it's an awesome proof of concept because that means we are a lot closer to vehicles, which is definitely going to change this game a lot. And according to, Squad's own Twitter recently, it looks like vehicle progress is coming along quite nicely, or at least it seems like it's coming along. Hopefully it's coming along nicely. And like I said, that is going to completely change this game. It may make Samara my least favorite map again, because it's probably going to close it up real fast if they do include vehicles on that map. But for most maps, it's going to be a game changer. It's going to be really great to see. So I don't know if in version 7 if vehicles are going to make it, but I really hope so, or at least I hope to see more features that lead into vehicles, hopefully for version 7 or version 8 of the alpha. So while development for Squad has been a little bit slow, it's still coming along pretty nicely, and Squad is probably still my most anticipated full release game, because I can't wait to see what they do. But that's all I have for this video covering this version 6 update. Please let me know what you think, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great one.